All right, so switching subjects. Um, so we did 70 episodes so far in high level conversations, and in those 70 episodes, we reached 70 million views. Now we're the only platform in the world, black independent platform in the world to do this. You know what I mean? Independent without major sponsors, right? When the sponsors did come knocking, they wasn't in alignment, and so we said no, like McDonald's, right? And so, if there's sponsors that's in alignment, we will. But 70 million views is great because that's essentially like averaging a million per episode. I do want to know what's your favorite episode. We have a plan to expand high level conversations, right? And I really want to, and this is something I'm going to do on the tour, and I've never done before because we're good at what we do. I want to give the blueprint on how we do it, right? They just came out and said that they are going to cut out monetizing AI influencers. So you're not going to be able to use that. You still have to learn how to communicate. You still have to learn how to influence. You still have to learn how to build a personal brand. You still have to learn how to world build. You understand me? How to create a brand Bible, how to create content, right? How to become influential and a passionate speaker, right? A lot of you all are creating content. You have to have a personal brand. And the things that I've been speaking on as a futurist are coming into fruition that a lot of people can now see as obvious. But I will give myself credit. I am the greatest futurist of our generation, by far, right? I've made a lot of black people and a lot of our people a whole lot of money by following and getting on these technological trends, these new financial trends, right? Before it became popular, right? At a time where people called me crazy. They was making videos about me being mad. Now those same videos, they didn't come back up and clean it up. You understand me? They ain't come back up and say, man, damn, Keys was right about this. Bitcoin at 113,000. They was like, no, I'm a financial advisor. He shouldn't be telling people to buy Bitcoin. And he don't know what he's talking about. And I was telling you, I did a video and I was giving a breakdown of how you need to be taking your money out the bank and putting it into Bitcoin because, you losing money in the bank and how it's never going to beat inflation. And they were so mad at me. And I said, all you got to do is beat 4%. Now, of course, in a bank, you're not even getting that. But I think maybe Bitcoin's at like maybe 50,000 at that time. You know what I mean? Maybe even less. But I've been doing this for like the last 10 years consistently. Right? So I just want us to understand, man, you in this time, day and age, you need to be setting up yourself to get as many assets as you can. You need to be setting up to where you can set up automated flows. Content is one that you can do. There's skills that go inside that, right? There's ways to storytell. There's ways to pick guests, ways to pick subjects, ways to do thumbnails, titles, right? To stay up to date, how to utilize AI within your infrastructure so that you can consistently build. Now, I know that if it works for me, it probably can work for you all even more because I'm a little more radical in mine. So my strategies will actually work for other people, probably 10x, than they'll work for me because I'm going to speak that truth. You know what I'm saying? And they might lower my platform a little bit. But I still win regardless. That's the beauty of it. You feel me? And so with a lot of my friends and my peers behind the scenes, I give them game, right? And so, I don't know how to get credit when I give people game, but they use it and it works. And I consult people and show them how to set this thing up because I understand it on another level. You all definitely should be utilizing WAP. Y'all should be utilizing Clippers. You understand me? And you should be setting yourself up to become, right, and have a personal brand. And then the new thing is making sure that you're set up for the algorithm with the AI. Like even Instagram just changed its algorithm the other day, right? So that your content can be searched in SEO friendly ways. And so a lot of those things that I'll be forgetting that I know, average person don't. So, when it comes to developing influence, right? There's a way to where you want to start with, becoming an innovator. And an innovator is basically when you start reaching like 2 to 5% of an audience, right? Then you get the 13% you get is when you start reaching the early adopter. Then you get the 34%, you get the early majority. Then you get the 34%, you get the late majority. Then you get the laggards. So we're in this stage right now, given that we are, and that's called the diffusion of innovators, innovation curve. And so right now, as things are shifting, we are in the late majority, and it's going to end up going to the laggards, right? Some could say it's the early majority because most people still not caught up yet. I would say it's in between like the early majority and the late majority, right? So it's when the early majority is people just now catching on to like AI, and I would say most people haven't. I still think like AI is in early adopters. I think Bitcoin is in early adopters, and it's going to early majorities, then it's going to go to late majorities, right? I think podcasts is still in early adopters, right? And it's going into early majority, and it's going to go into late majority very fast. It's going to be quick. And if you don't have a voice and a personal brand, it's going to be hard for you to get known. Then it's going to go to the laggards, and those are going to be the people who basically won't benefit from the change, right? So as somebody who developed a team, a framework, a high-level framework for independent media that I believe anybody can use, I will be sharing that. And I'll only be sharing that starting off for people that are going to be on this Renaissance tour, because I want to help people build out their platforms. So the way we're going to do it is for everybody that gets a tour ticket before July 19th, right? When you get your ticket, we put you in a community, and you're going to be able to get access to these frameworks. After that, you're going to have to pay a la carte. But we're figuring out new marketing ways and new strategies to set up experiences, because the tour is not going to be just based on me. Anybody heard of Grits and Eggs podcast? Anybody heard of them? Y'all know the brother over there, Deontay Kyle? I'm trying to see. We are going to stream the tour, but only the people that get on the tour, they get tour tickets will get access to that. So you actually have to show up physically, because we're going to be doing 15 cities. In each city, we're going to be doing a, different lesson, essentially. It's a Renaissance. So it's not going to be just one thing, right? So my brother Deontay Kyle will be at our Atlanta stop. So one way we was thinking about setting it up is that, right, after we do all of this, the people who get tickets will get access to be able to see the full tour after it's done. So that means you'll be able to see all 15 stops, right? So there's going to be game that's going to be given in each one, because we're going to be having a high-level conversation throughout. And only the people that have the tickets, right, will be able to get access to that immediately. So essentially, like you're coming to one show in person, right? But you're getting 15 shows for one. So we figuring out new methods and new ways to do this, right? That has never been done before, but it's going to be amazing. So come and tour, get your ticket early, get your ticket now, not later. A lot of these things are disappearing. So if you don't get your VIP and you don't get your early bird, the price goes up over time.